Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Monday, September 2nd. It's Labor Day, and I hope you're not laboring today. This is the program that tries to take the mystery out of your financial life and also maybe give you some entertainment on the side. You know, we find ourselves kind of amusing. Mark and I do. It's true. If you've got a financial question, just give us a holler. Go to the JillOnMoney.com website, hit that Contact Us button, and write your note. Of course, let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air live. While you're on the website, don't forget, the free weekly newsletter comes out every Friday, and Mark does a great job with that. And I want you to always have that in hand because sometimes there's news that happens and you might have missed it. And Mark is so great at finding the stuff that impacts all of us. You can also check out our YouTube show. It's called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. All right, enough with that. Let's talk to Peter, who's on the line from Florida.
So I am getting close to retirement with my wife. I think we're pretty well in pretty good shape, but I'm not quite sure about the distribution of our savings at this point. It seems like we have a lot in retirement and not very much in brokerage. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking for what should we do in terms of Roth, pre-tax, brokerage? How should we divide up our savings as we get close to retirement?
Well, first of all, amazing that that's your big question because it means you have some stuff that you can divvy up. So, Peter, how old are you?
I am 65.
And you have a spouse you mentioned. How old is she?
She's 62.
And right now, are both of you working full-time?
We're both working full-time.
How much you guys earn together?
Probably about $250. Sometimes with a bonus, maybe of 20 to 40K, it kind of goes up and down a little bit, but yeah.
Okay. And when are you going to call it quits? What do you think?
Looking at 70.
Oh, wow. So 5 more years. That's amazing. So we have 5 years while you're still making this much money, which is kind of great. Will either of you be entitled to a pension?
My wife has a very small $5,000 a year pension, but
okay.
That's it.
All right. Well, I'm not even going to put that in. That's like a coffee fund. That's about it. Right now, how are you managing this 250, 280, depending on your bonus? How are you managing this cash flow? Are you putting money into retirement funds right now?
We maximize our 401ks, so about 60 a year into the 401k. Mm-hmm. And we have a little bit more that we could put like in a 457 or we could put in a brokerage.
Are you doing that right now or not?
Yes, we're doing that regularly. Yeah.
Okay. So give us a rundown of what the assets look like. So do you have it divided up into pre-tax or traditional versus Roth?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah. So we're looking at about $3 million in pre-tax, about $1 million in Roth, and then about $150 in a brokerage.
That's great. Do you guys have anyone you have to take care of? Do you have kids that need help, parents who are still alive? What do you got?
No, our kids are pretty much launched and parents have passed away. So we don't have anyone other than ourselves.
If you look at your spending right now, what does it look like in terms of your needs going forward? Like if you could kind of project out 5 years, what do we think you need?
I would say maybe between 12 and 14,000 a month pre-tax.
So like 10 or 12 net. Let's just say 12 net. Let's start with that. What will your Social Security benefit be at age 70, Peter?
I would be about 58. My wife would be about 25.
There's no other income. You don't have any rental properties or anything like that?
No.
Okay, great. So, I mean, it's amazing to me always when I look at those numbers because I say, wow, at age 70, you guys are going to have a good chunk of your needs met, right? Because you'll have over $8,000, $8,300 that is just Social Security. And then we're looking at the pre-tax and the Roth accounts to kind of fill in the gaps. And do you guys own your home?
Yes, we do.
And how much is it worth?
$450K.
Okay. And any mortgage that's outstanding?
Yeah, about a $300,000 mortgage.
Is that your only property?
Yes.
Okay. What's the mortgage rate?
2.75.
Oh my gosh. You're not going anywhere, are you?
No, we hit a good spot there. Yeah.
It's amazing, right? When you're looking at the pre-tax versus the Roth, are you doing conversions now or are you just putting all of your money into Roth right now?
We're just putting all of our money into Roth right now.
Okay. And the brokerage account, does that also have like an emergency reserve component or do you have some money that's in the bank?
We have a little set aside as emergency, about maybe 50K as an emergency fund.
Okay. So right now you're just stockpiling cash, and you'll have plenty of money, right? So you know that, right? I think you know that because you have all this money, and you're
I think so.
and then you have 5 more years of continuing to put money away. You know, this pre-tax account is obviously going to be an issue, right? I'm just trying to think if it really makes sense. I'm not sure it really even makes sense to start converting it right now. Have you ever done a conversion or not?
Way back around 2000, we converted. That's how we got the original Roth amount in there.
Right.
But,
That was like that year
then.
where you got to do like this crazy amount and, there was no issue. And there's no other IRA accounts, right? When we said 3 million of pre-tax, those are all employer-based plans?
There's a little bit of a, I'm trying to think of the right word,
Rollover,
a non-employer based. Yeah,
Okay.
IRA. That's
Okay. I think that the game plan would likely be at this point. Obviously, you have plenty of money, okay? And what you would likely do is when you retire, you will start pulling money out of these pre-tax accounts and start doing that somewhat aggressively until you have to start taking your money out, which I think based on your age is either I think it'll be 75 for you guys. I'm pretty sure. Obviously if you kept working, because you loved it, then, gang, I don't know if you realize this, but when you're still working, you don't have to take your required minimum distributions, even if you're at the age where you're supposed to. But we're going to get you retired. You're going to be 70 and you'll be able to pull money out of the pre-tax retirement. And I would do that depending on where tax rates are at the time, but let's pretend they are where they are today. I would probably start to do that more aggressively from age 70 until the day you have to start taking your distributions, right? I would try to get a lot of money out and keep you, let's say, in the 24% tax bracket, okay? And that's how we're going to let the Roth continue to rock and roll. In the meantime, what I think you may want to do is to consider maybe not putting as much money into your Roth right now and building up that brokerage account a little bit. Just a little bit, not even like a ton, but like if you guys are both if you're putting 60 grand into the Roth, maybe do half of that, like 30 would go into the Roth and then put 30 into the brokerage account and let it build up a little bit. Look, you can always get access to all of this money. And frankly, having $4 million, it'll be more than that. It'll be, $4.5 million, $5 million. It's a ton of money and it will give you everything you need. But I think given the 5 years until retirement, there's not a big change to make and you're going to be able to pull out a lot of money from these accounts. But at that time, when you're retired, the 250 is now gone away, right? The only thing you have at age 70 is your Social Security, which will be a gross of $8,300 a month. And so that means that you could pull out a couple $100,000 every year until you're forced to do that from the pre-tax account, pay the tax that's due, add that, make that be part of like your living expenses, but also beefing up your brokerage account and your emergency reserve a little bit. And then I think you're really good to go. I mean, look, the numbers are going to be the numbers. You're not going to feel happy about the fact that, the government's forcing me to take this money out, but it's like, you don't have enough time to get as much out as you'd like. If you were saying to me like, if it were 5 years ago and and you were retiring, we'd say, okay, when in your 60s, just pull the money out of the account. I mean, it's clearly better to keep working. It does compound the problem that the money in the pre-tax account will continue to grow. But this is not a bad problem. It's a good problem. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'd rather have it there and pay the tax than not have it, for sure.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. Are you comfortable managing all of this money on your own? You feel good about this?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Okay. Oh, look at you. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. Is there anything else that's in your sort of big picture plans that would alter this?
Not really. I guess, we look at the Roth as being kind of a substitute for long-term care. Sort of keep that as is that a reasonable strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I think that whatever the account is that you're using, you're self-funding your long-term care needs, right? And you have a lot of money. And I don't think that you're at risk in any way, shape, or form. And you'll have accumulated enough money so that, honestly, even if you just had your required minimum distributions are probably going to be the money that you need to live on. Everything else will grow. So whatever's in a retirement account, you can tap. Either way, it'll be fine. And I think that you don't need long-term care. I presume you have your estate documents. You sound like a kind of guy who's buttoned up. Are the estate documents done?
Yep.
I figured that. See, I'm very smart. And no other plans about like a second home, a different thing, like nothing like that, right?
Not right now, no.
Okay. I mean, then I think that you are in good shape. The only like little bitty change is that you would just shift from putting 60 grand into the Roth to putting maybe 30, add 30 to the brokerage account. When you hit that 70, pull the money out of that pre-tax account, pay the taxes that are due at hopefully whatever the 24% bracket is, and then just move into a period of time where you're taking those required minimum distributions. Look, if something changed, if all of a sudden you said to me, actually, I'm done next year, then I would just accelerate this idea, which is you would just pull the money out. If you said I'm done next year, then we would just pull money out of your pre-tax account to live on and then and use that and like sort of same strategy, but get the money out and pay the tax that's due when we know the tax rates are low. But look, the money you have, you're going to be able to net a ton of money. You have saved just plenty of money for your needs, and you have a house that is affordable. So no bad news here, only good news. If you have something going on in your life and you need a little certified financial planner, ears and eyes on your situation, Mark and I can help you out. Just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you'd like to come on the air. Mark will do everything else. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. It really does matter. I don't know why Mark says it does. Okay, do me a favor. Lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.